Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new week of Road to VGC Worlds 2016, where we are using a team that was created by a Japanese player who was able to achieve a 2029 rating. It's been working out well so far, and it definitely has quite a few interesting options, so I'm really glad I can showcase it. Now, my opponent's team is very interesting. It has Dragonite, which you rarely ever see. It has the double Kalos combination, which you all know I love. And, okay. There are two issues here. Ferrothorn does pretty nicely, but I do have to be aware of the heat wave from that Yveltal. Thundurus is a big threat. And so is Whimsicott. I think I'm gonna forego Smeargle, and I'm actually gonna lead Kangaskhan Dialga. I definitely need Trick Room here, and in the back I will have Ferrothorn and I will have Groudon. I think the Pokemon that worries me the most is Yveltal. Yveltal and Thundurus. I absolutely hate that combination actually. It's really annoying. I think it's a really good combination, but it always gives me headaches because you never know if they're gonna Thunder Wave, if they're gonna Taunt, if they're gonna Protect, if they're gonna Swagger, if they're gonna Foul Play, if it's gonna have Heat Wave. There's definitely a ton of combinations here available to my opponent, and my opponent actually leads Whimsicott Kangaskhan, which is interesting. Now, I am an adamant Kangaskhan, so I am pretty much guaranteed to be slower. And my opponent could Tailwind here. He could also fake out my Kangaskhan, but what I'm going to do is go for a Power-Up Punch onto the Kangaskhan and try to get my Trick Room going. I'm not going for the Fake Out because of the threats of Encore. My opponent does Mega Evolve first, of course. I could have not Mega Evolved. I do have Inner Focus. Wait. Oh, he didn't Mega Evolve. And he went for Power Punch. And the Taunt with Whimsicott. Wow. So this is worst case scenario. Definitely worst case scenario, but I get a +2 Kangaskhan. And he doesn't. Okay, he can Encore me into Power Punch, but I really wouldn't mind that. And my Dialga is taunted, but I can simply Flash Cannon the Whimsicott. I see no issues with this. Now that I'm Mega Evolved, I should be faster than his Kangaskhan. Or, well, he doesn't know how fast I am, so he doesn't know if he can risk the speed tie or not. It might actually be Protect Kangaskhan. Nope, he just goes for the Encore. That's perfect. Onto Dialga, which makes no sense. And I get... Now I'm a +3 Kangaskhan. Now I am a +3 Kangaskhan, which is great. I get rid of his Kangaskhan and I bring Whimsicott down to its Focus Sash, presumably. That's the item you would expect it to have. But no! Wow! He doesn't even have Focus Sash on his Whimsicott. What the heck? Wow, this just made things, I think, a lot easier because a +3 Kangaskhan? Well, Yveltal and Dragonite, okay. Okay. The big issue right now is that I'm not max speed Kangaskhan. And therefore, yeah. And therefore, well, my opponent doesn't know that. So I don't think he would go for the foul play. He'd probably go for a Sucker Punch plus an Extreme Speed onto the Kangaskhan. So I'm gonna Double Edge the Yveltal Yeah, I'm gonna double edge the Yveltal, and I'm gonna go for a Dragon Pulse onto the Dragonite. Oblivion Wing, that's perfect. I really don't mind that. Dragonite really shouldn't be able to KO my Kangaskhan. With this +3 double edge, I will be able to take down Yveltal with just the first hit, and I will get a Dragon Pulse off onto that Dragonite, whom might want to Dragon Dance? No, he has Fire Punch. What? Okay, so this is game. Oh, he gets a burn. Doesn't really matter, I have a Lumberry, and I'm not a physical attacker anyways. Dragon Pulse will connect, and basically next turn all I have to do is click Sucker Punch and click Dragon Pulse, and that will be the game. So a really simple and really easy match, honestly. I definitely expected it to be a lot harder. I'm really surprised Whimsicott didn't have the Focus Sash. He Anchored after he taunted, which makes no sense because taunt prevents you from using the attack. So last turn Dialga didn't perform any attack. That's why the Encore failed. And for some reason he opted to not Mega Evolve and Fake Out. So everything just fell into place in order for me to beat my opponent quite easily. To be honest, quite easily. And let's find our second battle of the day then. If you might have seen the Spanish video yesterday, something weird happened with my roof and random things kept falling onto my devices. Like ceramic and things, because the light bulb got so hot it started melting the thing that holds it down. And we are actually up against Riley, whom I think we faced yesterday actually. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the same opponent from yesterday's video. Let me check real quickly here. Oh no, his name was Devlin. Never mind. So this is a completely different person. I'm just crazy here, and well, since it is a big 6, I'm gonna go with the same strategy I did in that game. Groudon, Ferrothorn, Smeargle, and Dialga. I do have a very anti-Smeargle lead. I would love to see Acernia's Smeargle lead or something like that. And yeah, let's see what my opponent does here. Smeargle Groudon actually. Okay. So that makes things a little bit tougher, I guess. Although, well, there's two things that can happen here. If that Smeargle has Fake Out, then I might be in a bit of trouble. But I can easily White Guard and Trick Room, I believe. And that should be okay. Best case scenario, he Precipice Blades or Eruptions and uses Dark Void. So I'm gonna go for a White Guard to protect both of my Pokemon, and I'm going to Trick Room. Hopefully we don't see a Fake Out from Smeargle. That would be best case scenario. There's my White Guard, so no Fake Out, which is great. Smeargle goes for the Dark Void, connects, but I do have a CHESTO Berry on my Smeargle, and I have a Lumberry on my Dialga, so that will not stop me from dealing damage this turn. Or rather, from setting up my Trick Room, which is obviously great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay. Yep. Both my Pokemon wake up. No damage from Precipice Blades. And now, with my super slow Smeargle, it is time for me to use... Please don't lower the speed. Okay, raise the speed. That's perfect. I am perfectly fine with that. And evasiveness reduces. That's absolute best case scenario. I'm just gonna Dark Void here. And I'm going to... Well, I could switch on the expected Protect from Groudon. But I'm actually just gonna Dragon Pulse the Smeargle because I really do expect... Oh! You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Magic Coat Dark Void Smeargle. What? You're kidding me, that makes no sense. If you're running Dark Void yourself? Wow. Smeargle avoids. Oh boy. This just turned into something absolutely hideous. Absolutely hideous. Oh man. Magic freaking coat. Okay. What I'm going to do is Dialga burned a turn of sleep. So I mean I could Dark Void once again, but then he could Magic Coat once again. So I'm actually going to White Guard here and switch my Dialga for Groudon. Man, this is such a weird game. Magic Coat Smeargle. What the heck? That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Dark Void and Magic Coat. What? Definitely caught us off guard. Man, I was so sure. There's another Magic Coat. That's perfectly fine. I used White Guard just in case my opponent wakes up and goes for the Precipice Blades, which he does, and there's the Precipice Blades. Wow. So everything going completely wrong. Now here come the mind games once again. I can White Guard once again, or I can Dark Void this time. So I'm actually gonna go for the Dark Void, and I'm gonna Earth Power the Groudon. I hope he thinks that I'm gonna White Guard. Yep, no Magic Coat this time. Perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Now the issue is I did waste a ton of turns, a ton of Trick Room turns, trying to pull this off. But at least Smeargle is now asleep. His Groudon is also asleep. And my Earth Power does connect. Now he ECV'd to survive that. Both Pokemon take their first turn of sleep. Moody raises attack. I haven't been paying attention, but yeah, evasiveness falls. So nothing weird in the sense of evasiveness boosts. And what I'm simply gonna do here is I'm gonna Eruption. He might switch out. I'm bringing Dialga in to burn more sleep turns, and because of the fact that Smeargle will probably survive here. Okay, so Groudon tried to protect in order to wake up. Smeargle doesn't, but it will go down to its Focus Sash. Yep, and Groudon goes down. So at least one big threat out of the way. The issue... What? He does wake up and he has sheer cold. What the heck is this Smeargle? His accuracy rises. Ugh. So that Smeargle is obviously going to Dark Void, right? So what I need, and Trick Room is over, right? I set up Trick Room, then I used Dark Void and he used Magic Coat. Then I burnt a turn of sleep, then I switched, and yeah. So I'm gonna try and wake up and go for the Trick Room, and I'm just gonna protect my Groudon this turn. Although I could bring in my Ferrothorn. I could definitely bring in my Ferrothorn, because I'm guessing he's going to Fake Out the Ferrothorn. But man, he has sheer cold on Smeargle. So that gives him a 30% chance to get back into the game if he connects with my Dialga. 100% gives him that chance. We do see the Mega Evolution. Hopefully we see something like a Double Edge or a Fake Out onto Ferrothorn. That would be absolutely best case scenario. Fake Outs onto... Yep, onto the what would have been the Groudon. Perfectly fine by me. He gets hit by Iron Barbs. Unfortunately, his Dark Void will put my Ferrothorn to sleep. Smeargle uses Dark Void, does connect because it did get an accuracy boost. puts Ferrothorn to sleep, but my Dialga does have a chance to wake up here. And it doesn't. Okay, that's 2 turns. Now I have a 50-50 chance to wake up. Moody's still doing its thing. As long as it doesn't... Okay, an accuracy drops, that's perfectly fine by me. Gonna try and set up Trick Room once more. And I am a bit threatened by the low kick, but I guess Explosion is my best bet because that hits both Pokemon. He probably won't expect that. Sheer Cold, perfect, doesn't connect. And he has Power Up Punch, yikes. Every Kangaskhan has Power Up Punch now, I believe. Or at least it feels like it. And can Dialga wake up? It didn't, right? Oh, it does, perfect. And I get 5 more turns of Trick Room. That is great. Kangaskhan is at +2. Oh, there's an evasiveness boost. And accuracy falls once more. Okay. I'm gonna Dragon Pulse the Smeargle because I really just don't want to deal with Smeargle anymore. And I'm going to try to explode once again with Ferrothorn. I would need to get really lucky. Wow! Which I do. Which I do, and my opponent doesn't even go for Sucker Punch, so this explosion might be enough to simply take both of my opponent's Pokemon down. And it almost is. Almost. But Kangaskhan didn't go for a Sucker Punch, so Dragon Pulse will be enough to take it down, and the game will now be 4-1 in my favor. You would assume my opponent's last Pokemon is either Talonflame or Xerneas, because Groudon has fallen. So, whichever it is, I should be pretty set here. Should be pretty set. It is Xerneas, so that's perfectly fine. All I need to do is Eruption and Flash Cannon, and that will be game. And that will absolutely be game. Fairy Aura does activate, doesn't really matter. And a simple Flash Cannon plus an Eruption will net us our 2nd consecutive win. Rather, our 4th consecutive win of the week with this team. So starting off just like last week, hopefully it doesn't turn out to go from heaven to hell like it did last week, where we started off pretty nicely with, I believe, 5-1, and then we lost 4 games in a row. We are winning 4 games in a row this time. Even if my opponent pulls off a triple protect here right now, he did get the double. I hope we see a triple protect, but there's still Trick Room turns left. There's still 1 Trick Room turn left. If we see a triple protect, we see a triple protect. Not really the biggest deal. Yeah, my opponent really shouldn't survive a single target Eruption plus a super effective Flash Cannon from an almost max special attack modest Dialga. My opponent just wasting the time from both of us, doesn't attempt the 3rd protect, so Flash Cannon does well over 50% and the Eruption will be able to finish off the Xerneas. Now, why is Dialga attacking first on Groudon and Trick Room? I'm gonna have to check the IVs on my Pokemon because that shouldn't happen. I'm pretty sure that shouldn't be happening. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's it from me today, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow with more action of this team in Spanish, or back on Thursday with more English action. Thank you guys so much, and don't forget to leave a like on the video if you can. Only takes a second and it really helps me out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.